Hey guys, it's Sharon from Digital Nomad Quest, and today we're going to go over how I got laid off, what my thoughts are around it, and what is next for me. Now, if you guys are new to this channel, welcome. I'm all about teaching you how to build passive income, become financially free, and design your best life. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified of my latest videos. Now, for me to go over all of this, I kind of need to rewind and talk about my complete journey all the way back in 2016 up to today to kind of go over my thoughts. So back in 2016, I actually quit my job and traveled the world for 2 years while building passive income. I remember back in the day, I had done a month-long solo Europe trip, and it just opened my eyes to all the life I was missing out on. And I started dreading commuting to the office, being there for 8 to 9 hours a day, looking at the four walls of an office when I had been living in the Bay Area for most of my life. I wanted to see what else was out there. So I started obsessively studying books and blogs, a bunch of information on how to create these passive income streams. So I got into Etsy, blogging, Amazon FBA, Merch by Amazon, a lot of these different methods to make passive income online. A big reason why I had left my job was that I wanted fear to actually motivate me. So I'd read this book called The Power of Broke by Damon John, and it was all about entrepreneurs doing creative things to get out of a rut and be able to become successful with their businesses, because they didn't have money in order to build their business, but they managed to figure it out and build their business to what it is today. He was just basically emphasizing that fear can be an extremely good motivator. When you have no options, you got to figure it out. You got to be creative. You got to work extremely hard. So I was like, I want that for myself. And it actually worked. I ended up building multiple passive income streams, and that cash flow covered my expenses and then some. So I was able to continuously grow my net worth while traveling. I really thought I had made it. But in 2018, I actually decided to come back to a job, come back to the Bay Area. And the reason was that I didn't feel fulfilled just chasing an income number. I was wanting to build more. I wanted to learn. I wanted to create. And I just didn't feel like I was doing that. I was testing these multiple income streams and not really building something that was helping people. And then I looked around me. I was in Chiang Mai, Thailand at the time. I'd been there for about 3 or 4 months or so. And I just saw people kind of chilling, making enough to cover their minimal expenses. And I just felt like I was too young for this. I needed to do more with my life. So I came back to a position because I lacked purpose and I wanted to grow and learn. And also the paycheck was nice, of course. And I knew that if I didn't like the job, I could just leave it. And that was really the beauty of passive income. The job did help, for example, in real estate, where I was able to get conventional loans a lot easier because I had a W-2. So that allowed me to move even further with my real estate portfolio. And obviously, having passive income plus my day job meant a lot of income that I could keep putting back into my investments and into my businesses. And on top of that, I was learning at my job. Obviously, anything I learn with marketing, I can kind of see how I can apply it to my personal brand and things like that. I don't want to get too deep into that, but overall, it was just a good learning experience. I probably learned the most, honestly, through the stuff I built by myself. But working at this company definitely opened my eyes. I learned, and I had a good time as well. So, if I didn't have a good time, like I said, I could have left. I also had it in my mind that this was going to be my last job. I just didn't know when I would leave it, whether it'd be from a layoff or if I personally decide to leave. But I just knew, you know what, this is probably going to be my last thing. I already found the thing that gave me purpose. So what gave me purpose was in 2019, I actually started posting on YouTube about personal finance, side hustles, investing. And it was really there that I found fulfillment because I could help people get unstuck and financially free. And that was the problem I faced. I found that thing that helped others, allowed me to create, let me make a living out of it, and also let me get better at business, real estate, and marketing. So everything really started coming together, and I've accomplished so much more than I thought I would. It's been a wild ride. I never thought that my personal brand could grow like this. With YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and now Twitter, I've been testing out Twitter. I've been able to grow my community a lot further than I thought I would. Been able to get featured on publications. Also been challenging myself to speak. I spoke at a panel at FinCon. I'm going to be speaking at a conference I think next month. And these things are really scary for me, but the more I challenge myself, the more I grow. Like even with this YouTube channel, it was a huge challenge for me. I used to hate hearing my talking voice, so I never really recorded it. But I find that actually people connect well with me on video. So I'm actually glad I ended up choosing video as my avenue for creating content. Another thing is I also would be scared of taking interviews. So I would actually say, no, I'm not gonna get interviewed. It's too scary. And now I've been doing it a lot more and more. all these different experiences have made me grow as a person. And I think learning is another thing that keeps me excited and happy. So learning and creating are really important for me. So fast forward today, as of this recording, I was laid off maybe a few days ago from a small tech startup that was actually running out of runway. So to be honest, I wasn't that surprised. They did tell me really unexpectedly, so that was a shocking part. So I kind of knew that it was running out of runway and there needed to be massive developments in the product for us to really get traction. So it wasn't unexpected in those senses, but it was unexpected news for me when they just told me straight up that they're laying off multiple people from the company to increase their runway essentially. I'm really appreciative of the position though, because, like I mentioned, it helped me in multiple ways and I'm grateful for the team and everything like that. So we ended on good terms. When the news was delivered, I feel like usually people are worried financially, but because I've built up passive income streams and had grown my net worth, I wasn't that worried. I knew that actually my side hustles were doing better than my full-time job, which is pretty crazy. I never thought it would be like this, and I hope I can continue that and grow it to bigger levels, but it's been a crazy ride. Instead of those financial worries, I was actually worried about how I would spend my time. So I honestly feel like I was using the job as a crutch where I needed to let go and see where life would take me. So, as everything was growing, I was still working a job, and a lot of people didn't know that I was working a job. So they were shocked when I told them that I was laid off. They're like, oh, you're still working a 9 to 5? And it's because, I'm working on this personal brand. I'm investing in real estate. They probably think, oh, she's full-time in that. But in reality, I've been balancing all these different things. And I think to myself, I would be like, I don't need to work that hard. I have a job. Let me just work on my goals, but do it on my own pace. And I'm doing more than a lot of people already. I have a full-time job and I'm working on this. I should be proud of myself. So I shouldn't beat myself up about how I spend my time and things like that. So I play a lot of video games. I watch a lot of TV. Whereas honestly, I think a lot of content creators work extremely hard, work on a bunch of different businesses. I know a ton of content creators that are killing it. And not only are they killing it, they're making a huge impact, which I want to do more of myself. Now that this job is gone, there's this feeling that there's no excuse not to do big things. And that is a scary feeling. On the other hand, I feel like I don't have that fear that motivated me like it did in the past. My financial situation in 2022 is really different from what it was in 2016. In fact, I'm going to screen share and just read a little bit of a journal entry essentially in 2015. You guys can kind of see. So you can see this here. So I wrote this in September 22nd of 2015. Everything I said before, I went to Europe in 2014. I, realized the amount of possibilities in front of me that I haven't tried. I'm young. There's whole life ahead of me. You can see this here. I think I'm going through a quarter life crisis as I'm nearing 25. To some people, I'm young, but in my opinion, I know that if I keep down this path of working a 9 to 5, I'm just gonna watch my life fly by. It is now September 2015. My flight to Stockholm leaves on May 30th, and I figure I would put in my 2-week notice in late April or early May. That means I have 8 more months to solidify my passive income channels. And guess what? I have 0 passive income channels going for me right now. So I really need to act fast. You can see what I said here. Freelancing, so I was earning about $600 a month managing Facebook ads. I even took this gig of writing social media posts for $1 a post. And I said, I rarely do it, but I have this job. So just to make sure I'm not completely screwed when I quit my job, it's like this thing that I can still make some money on the side. $1 a post, right? It's not like I was making a ton of money from the get-go. I was ready to put in the grunt work and go after it. And then I was creating some ads for my friend. And then I started doing all these other passive income streams. These were all things that I was trying out, and I had nothing going on at the time in terms of passive income. These were all things I needed to test. I spent 2 years building it, and I'm still building right now. It's just been a wild ride. Reading this back, you can see that I was lost and overwhelmed. I was asking people on communities what I'm supposed to do. It's just kind of crazy reading this. Waves of confidence and waves of fear, insecurity, anxiety. So as you can see, I was like grinding it out. I was scared. I had my back against the wall. I was working extremely hard, working till late hours in the night, trying to figure out ways that I could spend more time on these things. And I hung out less with people, and I was just like working so hard on this one thing. Because of that, my whole financial situation has changed a lot, where I don't need to really worry as much. Knock on wood, right? You never know what's going to happen, but I really try to diversify my portfolio with real estate, stocks, crypto, my passive income businesses to really feel like I'm safe. I try not to over leverage, and I have an emergency fund, things like that, right? But you never know. But as of this moment, things aren't that scary. I'm very grateful. I know I'm privileged, but also I do know that I've worked really hard to get to this point. So I'm proud of myself for that as well. So part of me just wants to enjoy the simple pleasures of life, and I just want to live a simple life with freedom and time. So I have like these conflicting feelings, right? Like, I've worked this hard, I should reap the benefits. So I ultimately think it's a balance of, working hard and also playing hard, which honestly I've been good about doing for a while now. While I was building these passive income streams, I was enjoying my life abroad. I traveled for 2 years. I travel a lot to this day. Like, I value experiences, so I have fun a lot. We go out on dates all the time. So I think I'm pretty good about balancing. But one thing I think is hard when you're an entrepreneur is that you don't turn off your brain enough. So I have constant things that I'm always thinking about that actually impacts my sleep sometimes. I get insomnia sometimes, so it's not the best. But anyway, my point is I need to balance like doing big things and living a simple life, because ultimately none of this matters if you're not like having fun with it and you're not spending time with your loved ones. You're not working on things that actually make you happy. I'm lucky about that. I think I'm working on stuff that makes me happy. It's all because I spent many years building this out and kind of digging deep into what I actually truly want. But when I look at my bucket list and like my life goals, it's not that crazy. I would say that I've met a lot of people who have crazy dreams, like becoming a billionaire or owning whole buildings in New York City, owning sports teams. And I'm like, I've never had these types of dreams. I've never had big net worth goals. I've always just wanted like enough cash flow for me to be able to live a life financially free and do stuff like fishing or gardening or working on music. And I also want to build a home. Like, these are some of the things I always talk about. Another thing is, though, I do want to own properties all around the world so I can Airbnb them out and visit them when I want to. That's another thing that is kind of a bigger dream, I guess, but never to the extent of like, oh, I need to hit this net worth and I need $1 billion business or whatever. That's never been my goal. So the third thing that really comes to mind is like, what do I truly want? Whether that's building businesses, building homes, creating music. Like, I used to be a singer-songwriter and producer and musician, I guess. So I was really into music back then, and traveling, right? These are all things that I'm interested in. I just have to make sure that I think about what I truly want versus what looks cool to other people. Because when I'm going to all these conferences, for example, and people have these crazy dreams, it's really easy to get that shiny object feeling like, oh, that sounds really good. I should try that. That sounds awesome. Maybe I want to do that. And then I tap into like, do I really want that? Or is that just my ego talking? Like, it'll just inflate my ego. So these are questions I think are important to think about, because the more you chase, the more you feel like it's not enough. So you have to be satisfied with what you have, right? So now that I'm laid off, basically these are the 3 things that come to mind. And I'm really going to be working on balance and asking these questions like, how will I use my free time? What do I truly want? Am I taking care of myself? Like, these are very important questions. I want to make sure that I'm prioritizing the things that matter most to me. So I'm going to keep redefining my goals, and I'm planning to finish up this list of 101 goals. I heard at a conference the other day that I should write that many goals. I think it's more like a bucket list versus goals. So I'm going to try to really hone into what I actually want. When I was writing these goals down, I knew that there's a lot I want to do with my content, with my business, with real estate and everything like that. I know that I want to dabble into short-term rentals. I want to learn how to build a home. So I actually do want to get into the physical labor of it all. I think a lot of people don't like that aspect, but It seems very interesting to me and I want that knowledge. We'll see if I like it or not, but that's another goal. Do want to dabble into like apartment complexes, boring businesses. That's something I've always been interested in, like laundromats, ATM machines, vending machines, even like car washes, or people make passive income through Turo as well. And I think there's just a lot of ideas I haven't attempted. I think it's always fun to experiment with different business ideas. That's just me though. Other things are that I want to possibly create more products, really help people step by step, because right now I have the out-of-state real estate investing course, the Etsy one, and the blogging one. But I want to do a money one because I think a lot of people have questions to me around like what I should do with my personal finances, what should I do with my money. So I think I should do more informational content around that. There's just a lot that I could be doing to help benefit the community because I get so many questions that it's exciting for me to create valuable content for you guys. I hope that I can post more here too. So I'm planning to do maybe 2 videos a week. I do feel like I am freed up more. Like my job was chill, but I feel like it also takes up mental space in your head. And now that that's gone, I have more space for my own stuff. So I really hope that I use this time wisely. I think there is that fear that, I don't use it wisely and I don't grow as much as I had hoped or whatever. But at the same time, it's not like my goals are insane. I just want a simple life, right? I don't want anything crazy. So should be okay. We'll see what happens. I hope everything goes well. You never know. And it's crazy. Like right now, I know people are getting laid off and things like that. I feel for you guys. That's why I really hope that you guys learn from my content and actually take action on different side hustles, ways you can make more money, because it can dramatically change your life and make you feel a lot more free. If I didn't have my side hustles or passive income or real estate, I would be freaking out if I lost my job. But right now, I'm like, you know what? I'm officially retired from the 9 to 5. That was an announcement I made on Instagram that I just got laid off. So now I'm officially retired from the 9 to 5. That was my energy out to the world that, you know what? This is going to be a positive experience. I'm going to follow my heart and do more things that I want to do and hopefully help you guys in the process. So it's time to see where my life takes me. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you guys are worried about me, please send me best wishes, but I think everything's going to be okay. And I hope to create more valuable content for you guys. I hope you guys like this episode. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you guys ever experienced anything like this, if you guys have any tips for me, it's going to be an interesting ride being officially retired and kind of being in the same place I was in 2018 when I was in Chiang Mai, but not really. It's a little bit different now because I feel like I've found fulfillment and purpose. So it's exciting right now and I'm really excited for what's to come. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this and see my journey. Hit the bell button to be notified of my latest videos and I'll see you guys in the next one.